Oh shit. I know this song, man.
This song makes me want to turn down the lights.
Yeah, this ain't no turn up song. This ain't no crunk and twerk song.
No. When I hear this song, I think about Kushtime with Flack.
Oh, you know what? I want you to think about that, but shout out to the Temptations because they hold me down because they ain't come at me yet.
The Temptations. Sir Blackwood.
What I'm doing, bro?
Always rolling up backwood.
Backwood, baby.
Rolling up that backwood. Sir Blackwood at his best.
Yeah, you know what? When I'm smoking the backwood, I feel like I'm in my element. I feel like Super Satan.
Ooh, Super Satan. So, what are you smoking on today, Flack?
Today I'm smoking on a legendary, mythical KK.
KK.
Khalifa Kush. You know what, Spillz? You shut the fuck up today. You know, stop the music. I'm gonna tell you why you shut up. Before we go to this interview, I want to tell you this. Listen, bro. You can't be agreeing with the grippy nails. With the grippies.
Guys don't have grippers.
Yeah, bro.
Guys don't have them.
All right, that's all I wanted to say.
That's all.
No,
That's because you sucking dick.
Again, you know what? I wanted to before we actually got into the real work and shit, I want to talk about the Dazed and Blaze experience we had.
Dazed and Blaze.
You know what?
Still Blaze.
I ain't gonna tell them what we was smoking on. They gotta watch the video, you know. But
yeah,
that KK is from the man himself is crazy.
Cray.
You know what? And I'm gonna say, listen. I feel like I be smoking, but I ain't smoking until I'm smoking that on a regular.
Always. Yeah. I feel you. Imagine waking up to that every day.
Yeah, you know what? And I understand why you don't smoke nothing else. You ain't allowed to talk. You banned right now. You ever get silenced on Xbox Live? Niggas got you muted, bro. Niggas got you muted. You was on grippers, bro. You on grippers.
That KK got you cray.
Yeah, but listen. For Kushtime, listen, before we get into the real shit, check out the Dazed and Blaze interview. I mean, I'm calling it the Dazed and Blaze adventure.
We didn't do an interview yet.
Yeah, it was an adventure. It was a Dazed and Blaze adventure. Yeah, you know what? Because Sir Flackwood, I was in there smoking. I ain't gonna say what I was smoking on. You gotta watch the interview. I was eating good ass food.
And talking to people. And
eating good ass food.
It was fun.
You know, shout out. Let me get a little shout outs. Y'all give shout outs.
Yeah, give some shout outs.
Shout out to my homie. I'm gonna keep it real. Shout out to my homie KH, for real.
Yeah.
That motherfucker always be coming at me, but he be smoking good. You know, shout out to Big Line, you know.
Shout out to Big Line.
Shout out to the motherfucker Breeze. Don't try him.
Don't try Breeze.
Because the shit he showed me, you will be sleeping about 10 seconds. You know, shout out to Will. Appreciate you.
Will.
Shut the fuck up.
Sir.
You ain't allowed to talk. You muted.
See? I'm muted.
What's your man's name, the carpenter in Ohio?
Shout out to P. Just.
Shout out to P. Just, man.
P. Just was the man.
You know, it was just good vibes and shit. You know, Burgh Boys in the building.
All my family.
You know what? Shout out to OG Peachy.
Oh, Peachy?
I said shut up.
Sis?
You know what? And what's the light man? He was cracking.
Yeah.
Blue hair don't care.
Yeah.
But you know what? Just thank y'all for fucking with the Burgh Boys, man.
Follow us.
Thank y'all for fucking with us, man.
Fuck with us.
I promise y'all, man. And listen, if y'all got an event coming up, because I'll have Kushtime wherever. I don't give a fuck if you can't smoke. I smoke wherever you can. You know, but listen, thank y'all for fucking with Kushtime, man. I love y'all. Yeah, man, thank y'all for fucking with this white nigga. Thank y'all for fucking with the black boy. Yeah, man, like I said, season 1, man. Interracial DJ combo. Black boy, white boy.
And now we have Black Boy Flackwood.
So we at Oreo.
We at Oreo. Okay.
We got a little out of hand right there.
So, for Kushtime, we have a special yesterday.
Oh yeah, for Kushtime we do got a special guest, man. And this is the first time ever I get to have an interview for Kushtime.
What's wrong?
You know,
I think so.
I think this is probably gonna be one of the best Kush times ever.
This
You
might
know
be the
what?
best Kushtime.
and I think you don't got a mic for this interview.
I don't.
So shout out Pittsburgh Norml, man. Let's get down to the business.
So thank you for coming, you guys. Now
Yes.
it's not every day that the Burgh Boys get to sit down with actual people that fight for the stuff that we love.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
it's an absolute privilege to have the opportunity to, talk to you guys, to reach out to the audience, and to, continue to build the momentum that we need throughout the cannabis consuming community. I think that at one point in time, if you said, "Oh, there's a cannabis consuming community," we would have not really, understood what that meant. But now we've got, I think, a large grassroots momentum of people from, various backgrounds, various walks of life, patients and adult use consumers who are all, starting to come together and bring their voice together. And with that, we have political power.
Yes.
With that, we have the ability to move legislation. And that's something that, I want to at least, emphasize that, hey, guys, this is critically important right now. We are turning into, a movement from, a bunch of just, voices that people laughed off and ignored, oh, you just want to do this, you just want to smoke a joint in the park, you blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, we are in the process of changing history right now, and we have the public on our side, and we need our politicians on our side.
Absolutely. Now, have you had any ran into any trouble in your fight for like legislation so far?
Honestly, for me, no. And I have had the privileged opportunity of having been a prosecutor, and earning my reputation in the courts and in my with police and colleagues and with judges, so that when I threw my weight behind this as a criminal defense attorney, I did not suffer any type of direct prejudice or discrimination. It was more kind of like, really, you're doing this? I'm like, all right, good luck with that. We didn't know you were like that when you were a prosecutor, and I get that, but I have been fortunate to not suffer that any type of direct recriminations. We are here, we live anonymously in the city of Pittsburgh. Nobody is interested in bothering with us, so I've been fortunate. If I worked for a law firm, if I had a boss or worked in a corporation, likely I could not have possibly added my voice to this movement without losing my employment. So I've been in a very, very fortunate position to advocate for medical cannabis without collateral, professional or personal consequences.
Well, that brings me to could both of you please tell us exactly what it is you do?
Teresa and I, my wife, we are the executive. I'm the executive director. She is the deputy director of Pittsburgh Norml. We are a 501c4 nonprofit organization, which means that we can use funds that we raise for direct lobbying purposes. And our goal and our mission moving forward is to protect the rights of cannabis consumers in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania through advocating for reform of criminal laws, either decriminalization or full adult use legalization, and promoting interests of Pennsylvania's medical cannabis patients when we need to advocate for either changes to the law, tweaks here and there, or one of the real issues we've got right now is getting protection for medical cannabis patients under DUI laws. Because unfortunately, the way we are right now, any medical cannabis patient is literally going to be DUI 24/7, 365 because we have a zero tolerance law.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with impairment, mere metabolites. You can smoke in Colorado 2 weeks ago and catch a DUI in Pennsylvania today,
Right.
For those, metabolites. So that's another issue that, we are advocating for. And, we have a lot of momentum in Harrisburg right now, and we have a lot of momentum nationally. We really need to overcome some of that conservative opposition.
So how does somebody help? Like how does somebody get behind you guys?
They should make sure that they're registered to vote. That's the most important thing right now. It wasn't the last election taught us that, it's not the fact that we need to get people to change their minds. It's the fact that we need to get people interested in actually voting. The lack of turnout is a big issue, especially for young people. A lot of us are on Facebook and Instagram, and we love sharing witty memes and laughing about Jeff Sessions this or Donald Trump that, but no one's voting. And I understand that it feels like it's hopeless and that a lot of stuff is a lost cause. And I understand that gerrymandering is a real issue, and there's a lot of reasons why you're going to feel down and out and not want to vote. But it's only a few times a year, and it's so worth it. And if people actually come out and vote, we can really change things. Look at the recent elections with Sarah Amarado and Summer Lee. So
Yeah, exactly. People coming out and making that effort. I was of that opinion that the Costas were unassailable, and here they are.
I told him he was old and out of touch.
One magistrate, and then Sarah and Summer both took incumbent positions, and it is because they were able to get people to come out and vote in a year when it's not a presidential election. Secondly, come follow us on Facebook
and Instagram. I run the social media, so if you're on there and you don't like something, it's because of me.
So what about, because I'm a veteran, so what about how do you feel about the veteran and can't the card and the medical and not being allowed to?
Well, the American Legion, I think in 2017, came out calling for more research. There is a federal bill right now, a veterans research bill, that unfortunately isn't attracting a lot of Republican co-sponsors, but it would call for additional research through the Veterans Administration and for the VA to allow veterans who have medical cannabis recommendations to participate in VA programs. It is critically important to make medical cannabis available to our veterans, and unfortunately, that push and pull between state and federal jurisdiction, where federally it's Schedule 1, and we don't give a fuck, and it's Schedule 1,
Mm-hmm.
and the VA is now in that position where they have to, of course, follow federal law, but they also have veterans who are suffering, who are dying, who are committing suicide because they literally don't have the right treatment option that's available to them. Veterans groups are very active advocating for medical cannabis. Our good friend Mike Whiter from Philadelphia and Operation Overmed, Jose Bellin, Mission Zero out of Florida, very passionate, strong advocates for the veterans' voice who are making a difference. It's just, for whatever reason, federally speaking, key Republican leaders will not allow cannabis-related bills to advance. Why would Pete Sessions in Texas not allow a veterans research bill to advance? It makes no sense. It's there is bipartisan support for a lot of this.
Right, and that doesn't make sense because it's just a research bill. It's not like you're passing anything. This is just to gather research and use government funding to build a you know what I mean,
because Schedule 1 makes it impossible to do the research, and here's a legislative exception that will allow the Veterans Administration to study some data and potentially come around to doing something that veterans already know works for them.
Because it's rather than do all the other prescription pills and stuff, might as well just smoke a joint, take a dab. It's the same. I feel like it's better. It doesn't have the zombie effect. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
the bottom line is
edibles
leave it
are
up
10
to the
times
veteran
better
to
than
decide,
Yeah,
not to the government.
exactly. Which road you want to take?
Absolutely.
If you want to take the prescription or you want to take the just smoke a joint. But I wanted to ask you guys, what made you get into this? What made you, you two personally, get into it? Fighting for
Why don't you start?
the cause.
I'm a cancer survivor. I had childhood cancer. I had a stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma when I was a teenager. I did chemo and radiation, but my parents were old head hippies, and at the end of my treatments, they started smoking with me on and off. And I don't think it helped to cure my cancer necessarily. I don't believe it's a panacea by any means, but it definitely helped the quality of life. Helped me eat better, helped me sleep better, and
Just live better.
Yeah, and it just made. I just knew that it was good. It wasn't a bad thing. And my parents, like I said, were users, and I saw that didn't make them bad parents. They were always very attentive, and I don't know, just when I was able to smoke with them and hang out when I was sick, it was some of the best memories that I had while I was sick.
Bonding
Yeah,
experience.
because my dad passed away shortly after, so that was like.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. But it was just one of those things that just brought us close. So my mom and I are still close. She's
dope,
old. She's like
actually.
in her 50s. She can roll a joint the side of her pinky while looking at you. She's not even looking at you. It's nuts.
I always had to sneak.
Yeah,
so
old
that's
heads are the
actually dope. I had
Yeah.
to sneak. My mom did not smoke, and I got
Yeah.
multiple whoopings. and ground.
I used to go in their room and take some sometimes, not thinking that they would notice. Meanwhile, I'm taking
Smokers
handfuls.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, this was a quarter. It looks
Yeah.
like 4
Yeah.
grams.
Yeah. And my dad one day just finally had enough, and he picked me up from school, and it was quiet, and he just looked at me and was like, "Hey, there's one thing you don't do. You don't take someone else's stash." And I was like, "Oh no, oh no!" I felt that drop.
I have a
And
scale.
I was like, "What am I gonna do?" And he was like, "Well, instead of allowance here, I'll give you some out of our thing." And I was like, "Are you serious?"
That's
And
dope, actually.
I was a nerdy kid though. I didn't really go out much, and I don't know. I was a gamer kid, hanging out online. So I don't know. It was easy. It was an easy thing for me to do. Yeah.
So what? With your background, what you told us about, like the prosecution, like what made you like actively, like go the other way with that situation only?
I'm looking around the room, and I'm thinking that nobody in this room was alive when I started consuming cannabis. I started smoking pot in 1985 as a teenager in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Ooh, yeah.
In 1987, I had the opportunity to go to a national conference for young people who are interested in governmental affairs. It was kind of like a prestigious thing through the YMCA, and everyone that went there had to draft some type of bill or proposal that they wanted to see passed into federal law.
Absolutely.
So guess what I did? That was the first time I wrote to Norml. I had a High Times magazine, and I saw a Norml ad in the back of it, and I wrote to them, and I said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing at National Affairs in North Carolina," and they sent me a wealth of information. And that was the first time that I learned that there were governmental studies that showed that, no, marijuana did not kill brain cells. Now, this was 1987, the height of Just Say No. This is your brain on drugs. The Nancy Reagan and the whole hysteria, where as far as I was concerned in high school, marijuana was the equivalent of cocaine. It was the equivalent of heroin. Meth wasn't really around then, but pills were. But, it was all the same. They were all dangerous, Schedule I narcotics.
Right.
Not
Don't
even
do
once.
It. Yeah.
And then I got this information, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. My path went to music school for a little while, and I thought I was going to be a rock and roll star. And then I ended up at Pitt and Pitt Law School. All the while, always doing what I always did. And when I had the opportunity to become a prosecutor, I simply kept my shit to myself. I made a point of not going into the drug unit because I really didn't feel that I could be effective in that. Every opportunity
Right.
that I had, I tried to cut breaks for people that got jammed up with weed.
Right.
Yeah.
At least you're honest. Like you
But
were. Like,
literally during that time,
Yeah.
I spent 6 years as a prosecutor, and I knew that if anyone ever found out that I consumed cannabis, I would lose my job.
right.
It was professional suicide. It was over. Game over.
Right.
Yeah. I moved into private defense practice, and for the first time, I felt that I could at least not hide from it.
Right.
And then finally in 2009, when I heard that the first medical marijuana bill had been introduced in Pennsylvania, I was a sole practitioner at that point. Nobody could fire me from my job, and that's when I decided to add my voice, reestablish the Pittsburgh chapter of Norml, and try to, this was 10 years ago or 9 years ago, but even then, if someone said medical marijuana in Pennsylvania, the stereotypes immediately came out.
Absolutely.
Cheech and Chong,
Right.
smoking in the
Absolutely.
park,
Yeah.
not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
So my point at that time was to try to put a more professional face on cannabis advocacy locally here in southwestern Pennsylvania.
I just personally have to add to that you guys are doing a fantastic job as far as normal in general, okay, world nationwide, but here in Pittsburgh, you guys have really you've
We're
done
the best
a
normal
fantastic job.
chapter out of all the normal chapters.
Yeah. No, you guys, you definitely are doing a great job here
I'm proud of our
for
work.
our city. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm proud of your work. That's why I'm proud that you're here.
Thank you.
We're very excited to join.
You know,
No,
it's,
well, you
the
don't even.
cannabis community around here, though, everyone's been so supportive. We can't do it without, podcasts and going on the radio or TV and stuff and getting the message out. So it's really teamwork.
No, yeah, and you guys are. If you have anything coming up, in the future, let us know. Email us. Like we can come in, do a quick highlight of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
We
anything
do have
we can
something
do.
big coming up.
Oh,
We can talk about it.
Let's
Is that cool?
let's talk about it. Yeah,
Hey, we'll talk about. You can do it.
yeah.
The rally in Harrisburg.
Yes, the big
Okay.
rally in Harrisburg.
This is where
Yeah.
you put the pedal to the metal. If you want to help, if you're serious about helping, this is an opportunity to do so. On September 24th, we're having a rally in Harrisburg in the Capitol Rotunda, and it's a lobbying day. That means that everyone that comes is expected to meet with their representative and meet with their state senator. We have bills that are going to be reintroduced in 2019 that we need support for.
Yes, local representative Jake Wheatley introduced House Bill 2600. That's the bill that would fully legalize cannabis in Pennsylvania. We need to fully legalize. This medical marijuana bill is great, but it doesn't cover everybody, and let's be real, we need that. And he's supportive of home grow as well, so
Veteran, we need.
Oh,
if
yeah,
we get
we
people
definitely
there,
need
yeah.
that.
I run the social media page on Instagram and Facebook, and like I said, people will hit me up almost every day talking about why they don't have home grow, why they can't grow their own weed at home. I'm telling you, just come with us to Harrisburg like 3 or 4 times during the week. It's inconvenient, throughout the year.
Buses going.
That's all we need.
There
Yeah,
needs to be,
we have a
like-
bus. We'll
We're
take
going to
you.
have a van going.
Yeah.
See, if you have a
Yeah, we'll do everything.
Yeah.
Sir Flackwood and
And
his
listen up,
backwoods
we-
might have to go for a real cost.
For real.
Seriously,
Yeah.
we've got a Facebook event page up. If we can get 20 people
Oh yeah, hold on.
from the Pittsburgh
Yeah.
area,
20 people.
we're
We always
making
have
a
the most
difference.
anyway.
If we can get 50
Pittsburgh
people, we're
represents.
going to dominate it. And if we can get 50 people in Harrisburg who are
Yeah.
all meeting with their elected representative and
Might
senator,
Let's do
we're
it.
going to have that direct citizen lobbying effect. That's what we need. That's what we're begging for. It's
That's all we need.
It's
That's
all
changing
well and good to
lives.
come
That's
out
a
to an
challenge. I
event.
think that's
It's
a
all
challenge.
well and good to share a Facebook post.
That's
It's
changing
all well and
lives.
good to
Yeah.
smoke a blunt or
And we
hit a
understand
rig or
people work,
something and be
people
like,
have
"Hey, we're
kids."
with you." This is what we need. We need you in Harrisburg.
This is some superhero
People
shit.
people
Yeah,
work,
we need this.
we understand people have kids, but
This is
just
fucking superhero.
use one of your vacation days, one of your paid time off, your sick days to come with us. It's really the most important thing you could ever do for the cause. Just one day. Not to beg and sound like a weirdo, but I swear to God, it's a ghost town out there when we go. We understand. It's
No,
not
I
fun, but
I think as far as the Burgh Boys, what we're gonna do, we'll just do a little cross promotion to help you guys get at least the 20 people,
Mhm.
and on top of that, I'm like pretty certain that we can at least get 50. To be completely honest, I mean we have tons of friends who smoke, tons of people that we know that need it. Personally,
True.
my fiance, she actually, she has seizures. She has epilepsy, and so does my niece. So those are type of things that, like, it. As much as people downgrade it and look down upon us for smoking or wanting to do it, people that do truly need it, that can't have it, we need to get it fixed. So we'll definitely do what we can to help you guys make sure we get that number.
Thank
For
you
sure.
very much,
Yeah.
because we really feel that we've got a moment of opportunity both here in Pennsylvania and nationally. There are a number of bills that are moving through. Unfortunately, Pennsylvania's legislative session will end in December. There's no time to get the current bills passed, but we need our allies to reintroduce them. Representative Delosier introduced a bill to address the DUI issue for Pennsylvania patients. That has got to be reintroduced.
Absolutely.
The Republicans have introduced a decriminalization bill. So even if adult use isn't able to really, catch fire, decriminalization is critical,
That's critical.
to protect
That's the thing,
consumers.
actually.
So that's
the best
we need support for that.
And they're
then
trying to kill
ultimately,
it, and how they kill it is just for the lack of interest. If people just don't keep on showing up and don't keep on calling, they can kill it.
Decriminalization is the best thing.
Yeah,
That-
that's,
it really
that's
is.
crucial.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that actually saves lives from like you could still be a good citizen.
Yeah,
and not
true.
this doesn't weigh on your character. You know what I mean?
True.
'Cause
Yeah.
right now it's weighing on your character, like not as of right now, but you know.
but a misdemeanor charge is something that can cause you to lose employment, lose
Exactly.
housing, and a misdemeanor conviction is something that sticks with you for the rest of your
Or
life.
if you're a parent,
Right.
As well. I mean, we're parents.
it's
you don't
a-
want to lose
it's
your
a,
kids for this.
It's
so
a
prestige jobs are
illicit,
down the drain.
a controlled substance, so it's not something that you're supposed to have anyway. So
No matter if it saves lives or no matter if
Right.
it helps.
legally,
It's-
it's not. You're not supposed to have it. So
And sometimes you just want to get high. There's
I
nothing
w-
wrong with that either. You know,
True.
sometimes
I was in
recreational is
Ohio.
okay.
I was in
True.
Ohio. Remember when I was in Ohio? I was in Ohio for like a show, and like I said, I went to Iraq. I got a little PTSD, so I used it to sleep. So I was in Ohio. We were coming back. We got pulled over. It was just like maybe 2 grams. And it was like a $250 fine. I had to go back up there, and it was just like crazy. Like I thought I was about to go to jail. Like it was just crazy.
What a waste of time and resources. You know?
I had to
Yeah.
drive all the way back up there
Yeah,
for that. Like
for
I paid
both
the
you
fine.
and Ohio.
I paid the
Why?
fine and it went away. So
Absolutely.
it was weird.
Yeah, Ohio's decriminalized. I think amounts of 100 grams or less. They make it like a 5th-degree misdemeanor or something.
But you have to
that's not
show
a-
up though. You have to
Oh,
go
yeah.
back to
Oh,
court
yeah.
to actually do
They
that.
tried to legalize, but
It's
Nick
like no
Lachey
over the
ruined
phone
it.
stuff.
No, in Pennsylvania, we'll fingerprint you and make you come back. And if we're willing to reduce it to a fine, you can consider yourself lucky. But unless you get unless you petition to expunge that charge from your record, it will always pop up.
Yeah, that's I've had a few misdemeanors because of it, and it will always be on my record.
Yep.
My fiance had a seizure, and I had my mason jar out on my table, and he saw it and gave me a misdemeanor for possession because. And this is I let him in my door, and I ran past it 4 times, and I let him in when he got there, and I'm like, the last thing on my mind is that's out on my couch, you know what I mean? And she's upstairs having a seizure, and the first thing he does when he walks in the door is flashes his light right on my jar. And I said, look, I know it's there, and I can't have it. Let's handle that after we get her in the stretcher and out the door. And then, granted, he kind of followed me around, and, when they asked what kind of medication we all take, I walk him downstairs. He had to follow me like I'm going to go move it or hide it. I'm not going to hide it. It's just like, it's one of those things. Like,
Just
Yeah.
just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we're on the cusp of finally breaking through. But yet people are, being charged and being criminalized on a daily basis, even when we have operational dispensaries here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Yep.
We know that we have a lot of work yet to do to protect Pennsylvania's cannabis consuming community, whether it's the patient community, the adult use community. We're getting there.
Veterans
we're
like you had
we're
mentioned.
farther along than I ever thought Pennsylvania would be, even in 2018.
Absolutely.
But we understand that there is a lot of
That's
work
lit.
that needs to be done.
And I just want to say one more time, thank you guys so much for coming. Did we miss anything? Is there anything else you guys want to touch base with before we play a little quick game with you guys?
Real quick, flower is coming to, buds are coming to Pennsylvania medical dispensaries tomorrow.
Okay. Major.
Patients,
Any location?
Solivo in Squirrel Hill on Forward Avenue, and Cresco Yeltra. They have the 2200 block of the Strip, and they have one on Pillow Street in Butler, Pennsylvania. Those are the only 3 local dispensaries that will have actual buds. And then a week from now, the Healing Center in Washington will also have them. Oh, and if any of your listeners are up near Erie, Rise Dispensary in Erie will have the bud material tomorrow.
A couple listeners want to know like the process of getting your card. They were like confused. They don't know how to get their actual card.
Well, step number 1, you have to have a qualifying condition. There are 21 qualifying conditions set forth on the Department of Health's website. So Google Pennsylvania Department of Health Medical Marijuana Program, and it'll direct you to the website. There are 21 qualifying conditions: chronic pain, PTSD, cancer, AIDS, Crohn's. Those are some of the big ones. We also have opioid addiction therapy, but that's not quite fully developed yet. So, but number one, have a qualifying condition, then find a doctor who is registered with the Department of Health and make an appointment. The Department of Health has a PDF of all the doctors registered, and there are a number of physicians who are joined together in cannabis referral clinics, such as compassionate certification centers. And you can go in, meet with a physician. They will obtain your medical records or ask you to get them from your primary care provider, and then they'll make the medical cannabis recommendation, and then you'll get a card from the Department of Health. But go to the Department of Health's website, because you have to register with that website first in order to get a patient ID to then make an appointment with a physician who is authorized to make recommendations.
So everyone who's been asking me, you listening? When the YouTube come out on Friday, watch and you'll know.
You'll know.
And if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up too on social
Go to
media. We love
asking me.
answering
Go to
questions.
Pittsburgh Norml.
Yeah, at PGH Norml. What are we doing?
You know what?
It's Kushtime with Flack.
My Kush is getting low. And my KK is getting low.
Yeah.
So you only got one job, Sway. Won't you get ready to hit that music?
I'll do it. Just for you. Just for you.
Yeah, man. You know, I like this Kush time. We never really, besides Big Line, we never had a guest that come dab us up, man.
No.
And Pittsburgh Norml got some fire dabs. I ain't even gonna say Pittsburgh Norml.
I heard she was the queen dab of Pittsburgh.
Oh, she might got. I ain't even gonna say
Dab
she
queen.
might.
Dab
She
queen.
has the
Dab
crown.
queen
Dude,
of
that was
Pittsburgh.
wow.
Cause that dab made me warm and fuzzy inside.
I was sweating for like 10 minutes.
I thought I was gonna poop on myself.
You know what? I'm right there with you, bro. Poop came, but I clinched.
He glitched.
I clinched, tucked, and rolled. But you know what? That was some good information they dipped off
No,
to
they
us,
really
bro.
did.
That was some good Kush too.
I say
Yeah.
that we all take a trip to
No,
Harrisburg.
no. Yeah, you know what? They said they need 20 people, man. And if you love Flack, if you love the Burgh Boys, you'll be one of them 20. But
And if you
not,
love Kush,
you'll be one of them 20.
you'll be one of them 50.
Oh, shit, bro. You going to higher extents.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you can do it.
But you know what?
If you love Kush, get your ass to Harrisburg.
They had some good information for us, man. Some great information. And I feel very informed when I leave here. You know what? And I think I'm going to get my card so I could be official Flack. With my what's it called?
Official sack.
Yeah. From the official dispensary.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you know
Super
what?
Flack.
How they always say, you know what? Thank you for smoking with me.
Mm.
You know, thank you for rolling with me. And yeah, that's another Kush time, man. Thank y'all. What you, Motor? Where we at?
Kush time. We're in Colorado.
Shut up!
Shut
up! Shut up!
Kush time in Pittsburgh.
Kushtime in Pittsburgh.
Dazed and fucking
It's
blazed.
so smoky in this room.
Dazed and blazed.
Dazed and blazed. Burgh Boys.
Hi, this
This
is
is
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
Norml,
Norml.
and we're here with the Burgh Boys, sharing some knowledge about medical marijuana and adult use.